Hello there, welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga Show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 928. That is Nuevo Dos Ocho, I think, in Espanol. If I'm not right, then don't kick me, don't hurt me, don't cry, don't get annoying, don't cuss me. Just allow it, just allow it, just allow it. Hope you're doing well wherever this live streaming podcast may find you. Hope you're doing well, hope you're doing well. How am I? I'm alright. I've been better. I'm alright. I was just mulling over this before I started recording, and I wondered if you guys have a similar sort of feeling. So, the other day, I was talking to a pal, and they mentioned somebody who I don't really talk to anymore. Somebody who I would refer to as a former friend. It doesn't usually happen in your life, right? When you have those really clear distinctions between somebody that you used to talk to, somebody that you refer to as a friend, and somebody you would say is a former friend. And I think this person I would refer to as a former friend, because we had an unfortunate, I'd say an unfortunate falling out, because it wasn't a falling out that was due to mostly us. It was a falling out that happened because we let somebody else get in between us. But men, by the time that person got in between us, so many things had been said anyway, it might as well have been an issue between me and the other person. So it was too late to walk anything back. But if I'm being honest, if I take a little bit of a step back, if I zoom out, if I zoom up, I can be honest and say we didn't really have an issue. We let somebody get in between us and kind of play us against each other. But then by that time, already so much had been said, so much had been done on either side. Feelings had been hurt, annoyance had been made, blah, 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 blah. We're never going to be friends again. And to be honest as well, you know, if I take responsibility for myself or accountability, I'm also not the greatest person when it comes to being a friend. I'm not going to lie. As great as I may seem on social media, as great as I may come across on the internet, I'm not somebody that people should depend on, you know? I'm not somebody that's going to like come through clutch with somebody. I'm not going to check up on you. I'm not going to be, I don't have that personality, that character, that fucking thing in me to do so. Sometimes it's intentional because I feel, you know, again, so I mentioned previously, through probably past traumas of when I was younger, I probably try to purposely avoid getting close with people in a friendship way, just in case I don't get hurt because of times that have happened to me before, or one time happened to me. Let me not lie. One time it happened to me when I was a kid, and I've held on to that until this day, which is, you know, kind of bad, but it kind of is what it is. But I was talking to this pal, and they mentioned this person who I would refer to as a former friend, and it made me feel away. It kind of gave me a bit of a twinge. I was like, you know? And the twinge that I felt was twofold. Number one, it was like, I don't want to know about this person. Like, I don't want to know nothing about them. Not in like a hater way. Not in like a beef way or anything. It's nothing serious. I just, if somebody is a former friend, if somebody is somebody that you kind of fell out with, I don't want to know anything about your life. Zero. You know, I don't care if you went to a shop, like zero. I don't care if you now have bleached your hair. I don't want to know anything about you. Zero. If I happen to cross paths with the guy, I'm sure it'll be a cordial little interaction and shit. We'll say hi and shit. But I don't want to know about what they get up to and what they're on, you know? So that was the first sort of twinge. Why am I kind of being told things about this person's life that I don't want to know? And it kind of reminded me of Instagram and why I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. Because I have a lot of people on Instagram that I kind of follow, who I've known from previous years, who I don't talk to anymore, who I don't, you know, interact with in the slightest. But because I don't use Instagram a lot, the Instagram algorithm is really smart in that when I open it now, it will populate my feed with all of the posts from people that I have known in the past and their life updates. Oh, had a kid, they got married, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll naturally see that, and it'll give me an update on their life, a little snapshot on what they're getting up to. But I haven't spoken to them in like 10 years. I haven't heard the sound of their voice in like maybe 15, 20 years. So it kind of feels a bit fake. And I also don't want to know. I'm kind of focused on my shit. I don't care what you get up to. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care about your kid. Man will kick a kid across the street. You know what I mean? Don't give a fuck. So it's that forced update that I fucking hate. But you kind of have to, you know, you kind of have to like grin and bear it. Most of the time I just kind of scroll past, don't really even like, because I'm also in this like anti-likes phase. So I'm not sure if you guys the same way. I hate the trail. I hate leaving a like social media breadcrumb trail. People seeing the stuff that you've liked. So I'm in this like anti-liking thing. So I just see stuff and just don't like it and just kind of continue scrolling by. But still I've seen it. I can't unsee it. I've fucking seen that this person who I used to speak to 25 years ago, fucking 45 years ago, 60 years ago, now has a kid, now has 7 kids, now has just fucking opened some store, now went to fucking Botswana on a backpacking trip. I'm giving false information, which I fucking hate to see. But the other twinge I felt, and this is a bit selfish, but the other twinge I felt is the twinge of like, why is that friend talking to somebody that they know that I don't talk to or like anymore? And why are you mentioning it to me? Which is selfish, because why should they keep an eye, or why should they remember who I don't like and then kind of base their relationship and their friendship off of it? I mean, it's dumb to think that, but that's the natural, that's the immediate thing, the true feeling I had in the gut of in the pits of my stomach. Like, A, why are you mentioning this person's name to me who I don't talk to anymore, who I don't know, who I don't refer to as a friend and don't really fuck with anymore? And B, why are you talking to them if you know I don't talk to them? It's dumb, innit? It's really fucking dumb, because at the heart of it, again, the heart of it, our falling out wasn't even to do with us. Our falling out was to do with somebody else who got in between us. And then obviously time went on, and then, you know, nothing was even said. No fucking, you know, no friendship was even mended, and it kind of went on when it went on. Don't get me wrong. None of us are missing out on anything, right? Like, I'm not the greatest friend in the world. That guy's probably not the greatest friend in the world either. So we're not missing out on some great times that we could have been having. But I don't know. I just felt a little bit like, oh, it kind of reminded me why I kind of like Twitter more than Instagram. To be fair, you can just post stuff and not see, because I guess people on Twitter as well that I've got on there, they're not people that I know. A lot of people on Instagram, I've got people that I know from the scene and people that I've known over the years and stuff. And I don't know. I just don't like seeing. I just don't care about the updates, you know what I mean? I don't care, really don't care, but that Instagram algo is undefeated, man. That Instagram algorithm is undefeated. It always, if you don't open that app a lot, and I can tell you from my experience, if you purposely do not open that app a lot on your phone, as soon as you do open it, it will fucking give you all the updates, all the life updates for the last 6 months that you missed out on. And it will fucking force feed you. It will force feed you up life updates, even if you don't want it, which I fucking hate, but it is what it is. Next topic to talk about. I was sitting here, right, thinking to myself, I'm very judgmental. Shock horror. I'm very judgmental. Shock horror. I'm very judgmental. And I was thinking to myself, like, I think very little or very low of people who consume and watch reality TV. Especially stuff like Love Island. Because nowadays, Love Island has become the premier reality TV show. Maybe the only thing close to it is maybe Dating in the Dark and shit. But people love fucking Love Island. And now there's this really weird parasocial community culture associated with Love Island. Most of it is divided by racial lines. Most of it is just entertainment. But you are seeing people who take a lot of pleasure, a lot of interest, a lot of pleasure, a lot of time into being very interested in these people's lives on this TV show. They want to know about their background. They do after shows on Twitter Spaces. They do live streams on YouTube and shit. They have podcasts and stuff. They're talking about it on the fucking feed on Twitter. They're talking about it in the comments on Instagram. People really care. They're really invested. And God forbid some fugazi, rah-rah, abusive, horrible shit happens between the couples that win or maybe run or come runners up in the show. They're going to keep going on and on about it. There's a couple of scandals now happening with a couple of the guys in Love Island, right? Racism stuff, abusive stuff, whatever stuff, right? But people are really invested in it. And I think it's really ridiculous, really losery behavior. And the show looks like fucking dog shit. I've never watched one episode of Love Island. And I wear that with a sense of pride. But then I was thinking to myself, Agostino, you're full of shit. And you know why I was thinking someone's full of shit? Because for the last week or so, for the last 2 weeks maybe, I have been gripped by this drama that's consuming the UK or the UK kind of content side of things. And if you don't know, it's concerning one podcast called RTM, Reader Than Most, hosted by Young Spray, a former MC now turned kind of podcaster guy, who has gotten in a bit of a scandal because one of his co-hosts, this guy called Pinky Notes, alleged that he never got paid. And RTM is one of the biggest podcasts here in the UK in that kind of like, you know, hip-hop, black urban space. So a lot of people, myself included, were like shocked at the fact that this guy who's run this really successful podcast isn't paying his co-host and how, like, how bad that was. Like, for, whatever. It was a bit of a topic of conversation. Well, for some reason, that one topic of conversation has now morphed into loads of other little sub-beefs and subplots involving Chronic, another co-host of fucking RTM, involving Bouncer, another content creator that covers all this stuff, involving Tanks, another content creator that's on this show, involving these girls that some of them are baby. Like, all this drama is happening around this whole show. And it got me wondering, like, what's more pathetic? What's more pathetic? Somebody being super interested and super involved in the Love Island universe, or me following the Pinky Notes, RTM, Young Spray, Chronic, Bouncer, Tanks, drama, Justo, all this stuff. What's more pathetic? And I got to come to the conclusion that they're both the same. So I am, walking around like I have this like moral superiority, feeling like I'm better than people who watch Love Island, when I have my own form of Love Island with this fucking drama. Like, what the fuck am I doing following all this shit? The UK podcast war is heating up in Tanks. Bobby responds to Remain Relevant, Pinky Notes TV. Like, all of this stuff is just as bad as fucking Love Island. It's just as bad. It's just as pathetic. It's just as much a waste of time as anything else. But here I am, gripped on the edge of my seat watching it. And furthermore, I thought to myself, you know what's also really pathetic about myself? And I can't take, I can't kind of look at you people out there that watch Love Island and think I'm kind of better than you. Because you know what I'm also aware of? I know who Jay Cinco is. I know who Lala Baptiste is. I know who DDG is. I know who these guys are dating. I know who Duke Dennis is. I know who Kai Sainat is. I know who Aisha Speed is. Aiden Ross, FaceTime. All that shit is just as bad as being into fucking Love Island and having a parasocial relationship. Why the fuck am I interested or knowledgeable or aware of who these fucking kids are dating and this fucking weird shit they got going on where they go on these live stream dates and you see them going to fun fairs and having this fucking thing and India Love and honestly, I'm just as bad as people who have a parasocial relationship with the contestants of Love Island based on their skin color, based on their fucking gender, based on their fucking, relationship status. I'm just as bad. It's all fucking pathetic, and I just can't get my head around it. That now I'm that person. I never thought I'd be that person, but now I'm that person that sits around watching fucking videos from channels like this, right, called UK Brazy, that kind of sums up all of this drama that's going on between Bouncer, between this and that. And again, think about it, right? All of this beef, right? All of this beef started because one co-host of a show said they don't get paid. One co-host of a show said they don't get paid, and it started this whole avalanche of beef and issues. A whole avalanche of beef and issues because one co-host said, hey, I don't get paid. And now there's this whole drama that's around it. Let me play you a clip. Let me play you a little clip from this drama from UK Brazy. Let's play this clip here. Stop smoking crap before breakfast, right? Another character's entered the chat. Someone called RXNW. Rix NW's entered the chat. Stop smoking crap before breakfast. Let's see what this is about.
Well, go on, people. Nice sunny day, innit? You don't know the vibe. Might as well. Hope everyone else is well. Sunny day and them thing there. Hope the picnic them's enjoying their summer holidays if you're a parent and all of that. But I got some subjects I want to talk about. First is the Chronic and just.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Kesa Moses. AZ covering Yuri. Exactly. Yuri and Riley drama. Wings of Redemption while being a slop content elitist. Exactly. I have some. Imagine me having an elitist attitude to content or to TV when I sit here and do T-Fat-K watch-alongs. I sit here in my free time, melting in my extremely warm, overly warm sometimes apartment, fanning myself with a bit of paper because I don't have an air conditioning fucking system. And I'm watching in my free time T-Fat-K for hours and hours. God forgive me. God forgive me.
Gusto thing, innit? Boom. Let's get in with Chronic first. My brother, you keep mentioning my name. And I know it was content that's starting, innit? But it coming like he's trying to get all too personal with it now. And that's what I don't like, you get me? I don't mind my name being used for content and all them things there. Come on, man, it's minor. It's like EastEnders, innit? Minor thing there, innit? But when you're over trying to push a narrative and over trying to push things, that's what I don't like with my name, you get me? Yeah, we'll get into Justo, but we're talking about you, innit? Now, every minute about this ribs getting broken. My brother, I'll be real with you, bro. My ribs never got broken. Never got broken. But it did get bruised, though. But you know why it got bruised? Because I went to that same address that you were supposed to go to.
The only ribs I break are from TGI Fridays. Hey!
I went there myself, and I put hands on Justo. You get me? We was fighting outside his yard. You see, after the fight, we was inside, drinking. What was he giving me that day, Justo? Fucking...
Not gonna lie, if somebody bruises my ribs, I'm not drinking with you after the fact. I might go to hospital. I might go Tesco, grab myself a fucking ibuprofen. But I don't think I'm gonna sit inside your crib and start drinking Magnums with you. I'm not gonna lie, if you bruise my ribs. That's just me talking. Maybe I'm a PUSSY, but I'm finna go home and get myself a painkiller. I might smoke a joint or something and go to sleep. I'm not gonna be sitting inside of you drinking a fucking, you know, drinking some fucking Captain Morgans and shit. That's not my plan for the day.
You know the weed THC liquid grape thing? You're always getting frass off that afterwards. You get me? Bless, normal day. You get what I'm trying to say? And then you running with the narrative about breaking ribs and brother, you didn't even go to the postcode, my boy. You get me? Why didn't you go to the postcode? I did, and I put hands on him. You didn't. You get what I'm saying? But stop calling my name now, bro, because you're not doing it for content no more. You get me? And then you've mentioned my brethren Tank's name. By rights, bruv, it coming like you woke up that morning, didn't even eat no breakfast and just smoked some crack. Like, you can't be smoking crack before you eat breakfast, blood. Like, you can't do that because it makes you move all wired and you're putting on ballies in the fucking morning.
That's mad. That's weird advice, by the way. Very, very particular advice. You can't smoke crack before you had breakfast. Sir, how do you know that? How are you aware of that? Could you let us know how you're aware that smoking crack before you've eaten an omelette, before you've had some toast, before you've had some cereal is maybe a bad idea? I would have thought smoking crack before breakfast is a good idea because it gets you fucking alert and ready to go, you know? Ready to kind of chow down whatever food you need to eat. But I'm wondering why he says smoking crack before breakfast isn't a good idea. Maybe you lose your appetite. Maybe that's what he means. But I would have thought it's actually a good idea.
And like, brother, go wash your face, blood. Are you putting on a 3-week-old belly on your face that you put on every day without washing your face, blood? Like, don't be doing none of that, bruv.
Or maybe you'll just wash the belly. Instead of washing your face before you put the dirty belly on, how about we do both? How about we wash the belly and wash our face?
Like, don't do that. Mentioning Tank's name, like, that weren't cool, blood. You get me? Like, but you don't know the vibe, innit? Don't know Chronic. Boom. Justo, that's your fault. You caused that on yourself, like, friending up too much with them and boom, like, that's your fault, my boy. You get me? Now you got man telling you about suck your mum and shit, like, Chronic, like.
Jesus Christ, look at Sad Aziz. AZ watches DDG streams lying in bed on his side. Yeah, for sure, and smiling. Lying in bed on my side with fucking my arse cheeks out of my duvet, smiling.
You got man that smokes crack in the morning before he eats breakfast saying you suck your mum. Come on, bro. Like, stop entertaining the man now. You get me? Don't entertain him no more. Anything he's, bruv, scrap him, bruv. Scrap him. You know what I'm saying? Like, scrap him, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a madman that puts ballies on before he washes his face and brushes his teeth and smokes crack. You know what I'm saying? Man smoking crack and putting ballies on before he brushes his teeth, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So, stop entertaining the man with that one there. Boom now. Pinky. I shall remain relevant still, but Pinky, my brother.
Yeah, let's check out Remain Relevant before we move on. Let's check out Remain Relevant. What's my guy Remain Relevant saying? This is one of my favorite channels that's covering all this drama, by the way. Big up Remain Relevant TV, one of my favorite channels covering all this drama. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hey, Borg looking boy. What's good, people? Remain Relevant TV here. Make we just have a look at it.
I can tell you ain't done a day in my shoes, bro. So allow it. Like, you ain't done it. You ain't never been in a band, DC. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is...
You see it? Right? That's...
Oh, man, this is more entertaining than Love. I don't care. I will I will challenge anyone to show me any content that's better than this, than Love Island. This is better than Love Island. If we're gonna go slop for slop, when it comes to content, this whole Pinky Notes, RTM, Young Spray, Chronic drama is way better than anything you'll see on Love Island.
So, on the big in there, fashion ras, cyborg looking boy from down Dessa is shoot up himself once again on his big in there. But this time, it's from his dusty bando. On the big in there. How is it you, cyborg looking boy, come shoot up yourself with curtains like that in your crib, my guy? With your TV on the floor, my guy. Cardboard box as your bed. You the idiot. How's it you shoot up yourself? But bando. You's an idiot. What is being in there? In your robe, feeling like say, use Hugh Hefner with no gal in that room.
Remain relevant is the best, bro. Honestly, you gotta be careful when you record yourself indoors, isn't it? TV on the floor, cardboard bed, Versace robe, but no hose. Oh, fucking love it.
My guy, your name is Pinky Notes and you have no notes. You the idiot. In fact, did you go jail for burglary, my guy? Petty crime because you're a petty criminal, my guy.
Was it always?
To be fair, he does look like a petty criminal. I'm not gonna lie. He does look like no offense, Pinky Notes. No offense. Don't go crazy on me. But Pinky Notes does look like the type of person that, you know, he take it. If you invite him to a house party, he's taking a camera. If you leave a camera on the fucking mantelpiece, on the fireplace, you know, you leave a Chromebook out, he's gonna take that thing. He does look like somebody that will swipe something at a fucking house party. You know, swipe a remote control, a fucking vape. You know, he looks like a thief. I'm not gonna lie. Again, no offense to the guy. No offense. No offense.
Always like recalls and robberies and
I only got recalled once. Second time was we did some mad burglary. We got.
I wouldn't Ross really a go on yasso. What is big in there? In fact, come in, Chronics.
We did some mad burglary. I was at the Tesco self checkout point.
Make we hear it.
You want me to start talking? You are going off when Pinky's talking how I don't get paid. Wait, no one ever asked me anything. Who are they? Who are they to me? I'm in the merciless. Before these came on RTM, who were they? You didn't know who they was.
We got close to the most. This guy's owned as a subscription. Does he have a Patreon? No, I don't think he has a Patreon, but he has a channel. Check out his channel. He also sells t-shirts as well, so check him out. Remain Relevant TV. Check him out. That's his channel. Check him out. Check him out. He's fucking awesome, man. He's so fucking funny.
RTM made you know who they was. No, not.
Hear it right there, sir. Even your boy Chronic say, yo, where you know this beg from? Nowhere. Uncle RTM, you know this beg from. In fact, how could you, sardine fashion ras boy from Dong Dessa, come with chat about airline, my guy? When your coconut, your airline start 2 inch off your coconut.
Somebody said, right? I thought, because his name is Pinky, right? So I always assumed his name being Pinky, like nickname, was after like the £50 note, right? Pinky Notes, like that kind of thing. I think that's actually his full name, if I'm not mistaken. So I always assumed it was a play on, you know, the monetary denomination. But I saw somebody said in the comments that they thought his name being Pinky was relating to the cartoon character Pinky and the Brain and the size of his head. And I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, the internet is fucking undefeated.
On the big internet. Make me look at that Ross coconut on the big internet. And you want to come with chat. You fish out your mouth. You look a big burglar boy. Want to come with chat. You burgle cribs to go in and look at women in their knickers, my guy. You is no bad boy. Burglar you get captured strap. You go jail for burglary. And you want to come chat about bando. And you live in a bando. On this big internet. You ain't got a clue about nothing. Especially when it comes from bad boy. You ain't got no sense.
I don't know, man. Just I'm so happy I'm not involved in this world, because I couldn't imagine a life where like you have to get up in the morning and the first thing you have to do is rant into a phone. I kind of do this already with this live stream in a way, but I couldn't imagine a world like, imagine, you know, like the Whack 100s of the world, the fucking, you know, 4 extras, you know, before he got into his accident. You know, that whole content, that whole kind of ecosystem where you just rant into your phone, you scream into your phone on Clubhouse and shit. That must be a weird existence. Like you can't even literally get the shit out of your eyes. You just have to fucking turn your phone on and start fucking cussing somebody out, threatening somebody's life, trying to make it sound believable. Tough.
What is big internet, my guy? You is backwash. You spent 20 odd years in a bando and you still can't go John Lewis for buy curtains? You shut your mouth. Oh, this big internet. You idiot, you. All that time in the trap and you still can't afford a nice little rug on that floor of yours? You need to slap yourself. Fashion ras boy from dog. Yes, sir. Box yourself in the mouth. You ain't got no sense, my guy. You want to come to Moa and tell Moa about bando? Use police. The bando chat. Shut your mouth. You look a police boy. Your petty crime and your petty pebbles. His thief and the burglar. You can't come with no chat. Over yes, sir. Look at the way you're living. Burning green up in your crib. You don't even respect your own self, let alone your ceilings. You's an idiot, but Ras Bando. With your police chat, you'll still be up in the bando at 70 Ras years old. With no notes. You look a beg on this big internet. Go bathe your skin and wash your face. Look a dusty boy from down Dessa. Really, you come with chat about bando. You spent all the time trapping in the bando to stay in the bando. That don't make no sense of it, yes, so my guy. First thing, and the first rule is, you get out where you're from. You know like that. But then again, you've accomplished your mission. You're still where you're from, i.e. in the bando. You clown. What a big internet. Shut your mouth, my guy, before you embarrass yourself more. But then again, bring it, my guy. Bring all the content, all the entertainment on the big internet. And what you say shall and will be used against you. But then again, you're not that clever. You're still in the bando, inhaling that smoke. You come on, boy, from...
Big up Remain Relevant TV. Big up the stream chat too. Fucking absolutely killing me in the stream chat. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Fucking flaming me. Big up AZ. You should have auditioned for the no jumper challenge, employee challenge. Nah. I could never work for Adam 22. To be fair, he's too. That guy is a walking red flag. I wouldn't be happy to do that. To be fair, if he wasn't involved in no jumper, probably I would have done it. Why not? If I lived there, but you know, working underneath his tutelage would have not been the right thing to do. And it just, I don't know, just doesn't make sense, to be fair. Maybe for the story, maybe for the narrative, maybe for the content. Like if you're live streaming and you go to audition just to kind of get more content for what you're doing, that might be a good thing. But I think a lot of the people that went to audition for No Jumper, they wanted a job. I don't think a lot of people were there just for like, you know, for clout and shit. I think they really wanted a job. They want to work there. They want that steady paycheck. They want to be in front of those fans. They want to be on that couch, you know. I don't think this is the right way to go about doing things personally. But hey, I think sometimes it's also, to be fair, let's also be honest, like it's really hard to build up your own thing, you know? So I get why people do that. Why they kind of want to make that kind of like, you know, that they want to cut those corners and shit and take the short path to success. But yeah, in conclusion, I am no worse than people that watch Love Island. I should feel no level of superiority. I should feel no level of, I should feel no level of whatever it is when it comes to people who watch stuff like Love Island, because the stuff that I follow is just as bad as Love Island, if not worse. At least Love Island, you're watching some like physically attractive people trying to figure out love and relationships and stuff, which is sometimes endearing. You know, maybe you can learn some lessons from it. I don't know, whatever it may be. It can maybe, you know, whatever, right? Good conversation pieces and shit. This sort of stuff is just like degenerate conversations, isn't it? Just like grown men who are way too old to be doing what they're doing, squabbling and beefing and arguing through the medium of YouTube and TikTok and Twitter Spaces and stuff. It's just pathetic stuff, but I just can't take my eyes away from it. I simply cannot take my eyes away from it. I simply cannot. And I hope I get to a place where I can. Moving on. Big up the UFC. I'm sure some of you guys have heard about this already, but this is news that I wanted to report on and just to kind of quickly cover and get out of the way. Paramount buys UFC rights in a $7.7 billion deal, 7 years, first major move in the post-Skydance merger. $7.7 billion Paramount have paid for the rights of the UFC, which basically kills any pay-per-views now. So there's no more pay-per-views. If you've got Paramount Plus over in the States, you'll be able to watch every single fight card on the UFC, fight nights, numbered ones. It's all well and good. Now, in the UK, it's no big difference, because if I remember correctly, when I used to have a BT Sports subscription, I don't have it anymore. But I think they've also now rebranded to TNT Sports. But back in the day, when I had a BT Sports subscription for their online BT Sports thing, within the £35 a month that you pay to watch like other sports like football and whatnot, it also included the UFC, because BT was the partner for UFC rights here in the UK. And for whatever reason, you could watch pay-per-view fights within the £35 that you paid. I didn't have to pay a pay-per-view fee, you know, which I always thought was a bit strange. The American, you know, the US people have to pay a pay-per-view fee to watch UFC fight cards, especially the numbered events. But then people in Europe didn't have to, because it was included within your whatever streaming package that you purchased would be included in the monthly fee. I thought, but then over time, I remember they had a thing where specific fights were pay-per-view, but most of them weren't. So I like this approach where all of them are not pay-per-view. Now, this is somewhat surprising, because you would assume the UFC make a lot of money through pay-per-view. And a lot of people were assuming, Brendan Shaw being a good example, that they were never going to let go of the pay-per-view model because it makes them so much extra free money. And because they don't pay fighters a lot anyway, they can still make money over, you know, hand over fist in this regard. But I guess this is maybe a change, a shifting focus, or maybe a response to the increased levels of piracy. Maybe also a response to maybe the lack of demand on certain fight cards. There's also been this suggestion that some of the fight cards have been a little bit meaty over the last couple of months and stuff. And they've been really kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. So maybe if you get rid of the pay-per-view model, it can maybe relax, or maybe it can maybe kind of diminish or lower the pressure when it comes to putting together like barnstormer cards. So now maybe they can focus on actually having cards that are like, you know, a lot of like fight fans will be excited for, and not just cards that are just like blockbuster ones to kind of increase the amount of pay-per-views and are really hype and shit but aren't really good quality. So I don't know. Let's see how it plays out, but it's a lot of fucking money. I'm really hoping, a small part of me is hoping for something that's somewhat impossible, that this money that they're paying is going to be siphoned off to the fighters too. I'm hoping some of that 7.7 billion is going to go to the fighters. It's unlikely, but I hope the fighters get that as well, because the fighter pay in the UFC is such a shame. It's such a black mark on the UFC. The fact that some UFC fighters are making like 60 grand a year, if that, is fucking disgusting, to be fair. So I hope that this also means fighter pay will also be increased, but I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see. Let's read the article courtesy of CNBC. It says, days after completing its merger with Skydance, Paramount has acquired the US rights to TKO Group's UFC for 7 years, beginning in 2026. By the way, they're acquiring the rights for it for 7 years for 7.7 billion. They don't own it outright, just the rights. Jesus Christ. Intellectual property, man. The money in it is fucking otherworldly. Paramount is paying an average of 1.1 billion per year, totaling 7.7 billion for UFC's full slate of 13 marquee events and 30 fight nights, the company said in a statement. What is that? 13? So there's only 13 marquee events over 6 years, really? Huh. Okay. So there's way more fight nights than marquee events, isn't it? There's only 13 over 7 years. Huh. All matches and events will be streamed on US via Paramount Plus, and select events will be simulcast on CBS. The deal and payments are weighted, and Paramount paying less than 1.1 billion in the early years of the deal and higher values later. Paramount won't charge any additional fees for the access of the events, eliminating the pay-per-view model that ESPN Plus has used for certain premium UFC events. Disney's ESPN has been paying an average of 500 million for 5 years of UFC fights. That deal expires at the end of 2025. By the way, they got a good deal, innit? They got a good deal, though. Disney got a good... Let's see how things change. Disney got a good deal. Disney paid 500 million for 5 years of UFC rights. That's a pretty decent deal, bro. And now fucking Paramount is paying 7.7 billion for 7. Woo! The pay-per-view model is a thing of the past, said Mark Shapiro. What's on pay-per-view anymore? Boxing, movies, direct on TV. It's an outdated, antiquated model. So it's Paramount to us, forgive the pun, where it's one-stop shopping. especially for our younger fans in our flyover states. When they find out, wait, if I just sign up for Paramount Plus for $12.99 a month, I'm going to automatically get UFC's numbered fights and the rest of the portfolio. That's the message we want to amplify. By the way, I really want that to happen to sports or football in the UK or Europe overall. It's not going to happen, but I really want it to happen. I wish somehow some platform, Amazon, Netflix, somebody comes in and is able to offer like a deal where you get all the Premier League games. Because nowadays, I don't know why, but even in the UK, you can't watch every single Premier League game. You can only watch a portion, and the other ones are sold to, you know, foreign broadcasting fucking networks and shit, but you can't actually watch them in the UK. I wish somebody would implement or propose something like, hey, pay fucking £20 a month and you get an access to watch every single Premier League game. Every single one. That'd be fucking phenomenal, man. I'd pay that instantly and fucking stop going on these fucking streams and shit. These illegal streams or getting fire sticks or whatnot. But they don't do that for some reason. I guess because it makes more money to have you pay a monthly fee for different streaming services to get the opportunity to watch all the matches, but you don't get to watch all the matches. I want to just simplify and say, hey, if you want to watch all the Premier League matches, here's the platform. If you want to watch all the European matches, here's the platform. All the Eredivisie, La Liga, whatever. That'll be the way to go. But hey, what do I know? It's been a busy few days for both Paramount and TKO. Paramount officially sold control of its company to Skydance Media on Thursday, bringing in new leadership led by Chief Executive Officer David Ellison. Also last week, TKO signed a 5-year, $1.6 billion deal with ESPN, US rights for WWE premium live events, and UFC WWE merger to become TKO in 2023. TKO's leadership initially believed that it would sell just 30 Fight Nights events to Paramount and a premium number of events to another media partner, said Shapiro. When Skydance Paramount deal closed on Thursday, the two sides negotiated this deal in 48 hours. So they were going to first, that would have been awful. So they were first going to say, oh, Fight Nights only on Paramount and then a number of events with ESPN or something. Nah, fuck that. I'm glad they put it all in one package. That works out much better. If you're in the States, you should be really happy. $12.99 to watch every single UFC fight. Fucking hell, that's fucking great. We have shown in the past with our ESPN deal that we drive subscriptions, which is crucial to David's strategy, said TKO CEO Ari Emanuel on Monday. It was important for Ellison to buy the entire UFC package given the scarcity of the sports rights available in the coming years. He said in the interview, with Formula One rights likely earmarked for Apple and Major League Baseball waiting until 2028 to reorganize its major media packages, there won't be many top shelf sports assets coming to market for Paramount to acquire. Okay, cool. So it was UFC or bust. So it's kind of crazy how fast the UFC is growing, in it. The UFC has grown in a way now where broadcast, networks or whatever platforms are now like fighting to get the rights to show it, because it's now one of the major sports that you want to have on your platform. Similar to soccer, similar to NFL, or no, soccer for good, basketball and shit. Wow, man, it's grown so fucking quickly. UFC is a unicorn asset that comes up about once a decade. UFC events are desirable for streamers because they take place year round, keeping fans paying for monthly subscriptions with less incentive to cancel seasonally than other sports. That's a good point, by the way. That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. It's all year round, isn't it? All fucking year round. So you're unlucky to cancel your subscription because literally there's a fight night or there's a UFC event happening every single month of the year. There are 43 live events annually consisting of 350 hours of live programming. And I think all they see is just opportunities to put in ads. Yo, I pray for you. People are going to get Paramount to watch the UFC. I pray for you with the ads. They are going to slap you with so many ads. When you hear executives busting down numbers like this, 43 live events, 350 hours of live programming, you know they're going to slap you with so many fucking ads. It's going to be crazy. Especially if you're paying $12.99, which is already too cheap. If you're paying $12.99 a month to watch all the UFC fight card events and shit, they are going to hit you with an unprecedented amount of fucking adverts. And they're going to be those adverts that you can't skip. Or those adverts that you can't move tabs. They're so cheeky nowadays. They've got those fucking adverts where you can't even change a tab. If you change a tab, it pauses. Annoying. Paramount is interested in buying UFC's international rights to pair with US rights. The company said in the statement, those rights arise on a rolling basis, with about 1/3 of them being available each year. UFC matches are currently available in more than 210 countries. Paramount will have a 30-day exclusive negotiating window for each country's rights when they're up for renewal. That's great. Hopefully it happens in the UK. We're getting the brand, we're getting the reach, and they'll get the sign-ups squawk on the street. Okay, great to hear. Great to fucking hear. Now let's hear what Dana White has to say about UFC fighters and what they're going to get from this, which is probably not a lot, but let's see. Let's hope and see. Dana White makes a big vow over UFC fighter pay up the Paramount deal. Okay? He's made a big vow here. He's promising a lot. He's promising a lot. Let's see what he's promising. Let's hear what this fucking tomato is promising. Dana White has vowed that the UFC fighter pay will go up. But how much though? When he says go up, what does that mean? Does he mean go up by like $1? Go up by a couple of cents? Go up by a small percentage? What does it mean by up? Will go up in the wake of the new broadcast deal with Paramount. Earlier this week, news came, the stunning announcement that UFC will have a new broadcaster in 2026, having signed with Paramount. In a significant break from the pay-per-view model that has helped promotion become one of the most valuable and popular entities in the world. After the announcement was made on Monday the 11th, a lot of fallout focused on the increased exposure for fighters and how the move would impact the sport on the whole. But UFC President Dana White was quiet on what it meant for fighter pay and bonuses, or finances, sorry. However, he has now broken cover, and in a press conference following the week 1 of the latest Dana White's Contender Series, he revealed a massive pay change that should excite fighters. The following, quote, "The low-hanging fruit that's easy to answer, bonuses are obviously going up." Again, this bonus incentive structure just means fighters have to pay more to make more, but they have to put their body in. And but the reality of it is, the more you fight, the more opportunity there is for you to lose, of course, and to get injured. And if you lose in the UFC enough fights, 2, sometimes 4, you get cut. But just give them a good base salary overall. Is that so hard to do? Really and truly. I'm not even saying they should get fucking medical cover and stuff and whatever else it may be. Just give them a decent fucking base salary, so they don't have to fucking fight 7 times in a year or whatever to make a decent living. It's just not fair, man. But hey, what do I know? Another quote. "That'll be big. And forget about the tide rising with all the other fighters. Just the number the bonuses bring to fighters, it's millions of dollars." I don't know. I feel there's something about the bonuses that I've always never liked, man. The desperate nature of how the fighters kind of fight for them and beg for them during their fucking post-fight press conference in the ring and shit. Like, they just finished beating up somebody in an amazing way, a really tough fight, and here they are like, you know, Dana, bonus. It's like, oh yeah. These fighters deserve more, man. They deserve so fucking much more, I think. The UFC has been known to issue $50,000 post-fight performance bonuses to select fighters who put on a standout showings in the octagon, and White's words suggest that there could be an increase in the sorts of payments. This is going to be incredible for fighters. Yeah, right. We've talked about how it's good for the fans and good for the sport, but the fighters are also a big beneficiary. By the way, Jesus Christ, isn't it, right? So basically, the fighters are the last priority when it comes to the UFC. The first priority is the fans, then it's the sport, then it's the fighters. So the fighters that make the company, the fighters that make that organization, the fighters that make that brand are the lowest priority. They focus more on the fans, the sport, probably the board members and stuff, and the investors, and then the fighters. Jesus Christ. Let's continue here. We've looked to increase fighter pay whenever we could, even back in the beginning when we were losing money, and certainly we're doing so again. At the moment, UFC fighters are generally paid on a show and win contracts. Example given, $15,000 to fight, another $15,000 if they win. By the way, that's peanuts, man. That's peanuts when you think about how much money. When you think about how much money it costs to fucking run a fight camp, travel, all that shit. $15,000 to fight, and then if you lose, you don't get anything more. Jesus Christ, man, that is peanuts. And then I can't remember. Well, after tax, what's 15,000? Maybe 10, maybe 8. Fucking hell, brutal. At least until they start climbing the rank. By the way, I've always wondered, right? Why doesn't Dana White, like, imagine they're greedy and shit and they keep the money. Maybe they say they keep the money for a good reason because they invest in the production. Because let's be honest, the UFC production and the way it's run and shit, it's run fucking like I can't remember the last fight card that was late. They, you know, the streams and the fucking broadcast rarely goes down. They always get great angles and shit. Really, really good, right? And I've heard, you know, when you go and watch these things live, they're amazing. So I've always wondered, if you don't want to pay fighters fairly, why not just allow them to have sponsors on their shorts when they fight in the octagon? Because I know before that was allowed, and then Dana stopped it because he doesn't like the sponsors. He thinks it looks ugly. He doesn't like how it looks aesthetically, right? All the little badges on the shorts and shit. But if you, like, that would be a good way. And again, you don't even have to do it all over the shorts. You can just say each fighter has like a little section on their shorts, a little box that they can fill up with like brands and logos and stuff. So they can offset the money that they're not getting from, you know, UFC with money from sponsors and ads on that fucking block. Literally, it could just be like one rectangle on the left-hand side of their shorts where you're allowed to put in your sponsors. So if you've got one big sponsor that wants to pay you, you put their badge there or logo. If you've got like 17, you put their badges there. At least then it's up to the fighters to negotiate and to hustle and to get other brands to kind of offset and to make up the difference of their fighter pay. Because it seems like the UFC they just don't want to pay people base salaries, and they don't want to increase the fucking contracts and the fucking show and win fucking contracts that they got. Because it's I don't know. But then again, the fighters don't really care too much about it. They don't want to unionize. They don't want to protest. A lot of them are bootlickers and stuff, and they love to fucking, you know, placate and make nice with Dana. So, you know, it's one thing for the fans like myself to get upset about it, but if the fighters themselves don't care, then who am I to talk? The pay increases over time, but other factors. But that pay increases over time, but another factor is pay-per-view points. If points are in their contract, athletes can earn more money if they're on the main card of a pay-per-view. That event achieves a certain number of buys. The fact that pay-per-views will no longer exist once Paramount deal kicks in suggests that there will need to be other ways to reward fighters for competing at big events. Cool. The UFC signed with ESPN in 2018 and began a partnership in 2019, but the contract expires this year. It was thought to some that the promotion can end up on Netflix, given the streaming platform is the main global broadcast of WWE, the professional wrestling behemoth. Instead, the UFC is embracing streaming, although Monday's announcement stated that CBS, a cable network in the US, will show certain fights. The statement also said that in 2026 is set to feature 13 numbered events. The historic deal for Paramount and CBS fans is incredible for the UFC fans and athletes. White explained at the time, for the first time ever, fans in the US will have access to all UFC content without a pay-per-view model, making it more affordable and accessible to view the greatest fights on the massive platforms. The deal puts UFC amongst the biggest sports in the world. The deal exposure provided by Paramount and CBS networks under this new structure is a huge win for our athletes and anyone who watches, loves this sport. So yeah, cool. So the fighter pay will increase. We don't know what it's going to increase. It looks like it's just going to increase the bonuses. If I had to guess, I think Dana's just going to increase the fighter bonuses and probably start offering them maybe the base. Maybe it'll be base $100,000 now instead of being $50,000. It'll be $100,000. That's what it sounds like. There's no concrete number there, and he's not going to increase the base salary. It'll just be like bonuses will go up from 50 to 100K. So if you win in a spectacular fashion, you get 100,000, which I guess is a good incentive. I don't know. I just hate the beggy nature of what it kind of makes fighters. You know, it makes fighters seem like they're begging on this. I don't know. I just hate how it looks, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Big up the stream chat. Big up Josie. They better be amazing. Have you seen how much of it the live UFC event is? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ticket prices to go see UFC live are no joke, man. They're not giving those things away. They're not giving those things away at all. I need Brendan's take on the big up Don Dutta. Fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Big up the UFC, I guess. Big up the UFC, I guess. Talking about big ups. Let's talk about my guy. Let's talk about my hero. Let's talk about my G, Drake, Aubrey Graham, and this interesting development regarding the whole Kendrick beef, right? And the fallout regarding it. So it is courtesy of Music Business Worldwide. It said Drake demands to see Kendrick Lamar's contract details in discovery battle in Universal Music Group. So the details of it are kind of sketchy and make him look kind of nuts, but let's read the article anyway. Drake's legal battle with UMG has intensified, with new court findings revealing the extent to which the rapper's legal team is seeking to access to internal UMG documents. They include Kendrick Lamar's recording contract with Universal, which Drake's lawyers argue is central to proving his defamation case. In a declaration filed on court on August 12th, seeking to compel documents production from UMG, CEO Lucian Grange, Drake's legal team detailed months of discovery disputes with UMG demand access to documents from the company's highest-ranking executives. At the center of the dispute, Drake's allegation that UMG had contractually authority over Kendrick Lamar's music and deliberately chose to release and promote Not Like Us, which Drake claims contains defamatory allegations about him. According to the court documents, Drake's legal team has been seeking all contracts and agreements between UMG and Kendrick Lamar's Duckworth, his agent, or anyone working on his behalf, including all contracts and agreements between reflecting your right to approve, reject, refuse, publish, edit, amend, veto publications of Kendrick Lamar's Duckworth's musical works. The discovery battle reached a flashpoint when UMG produced Drake's lawyers described an incomprehensible version of Kendrick Lamar's record agreement. In July 3rd letter, Drake's legal team compelled that you produce a heavily redacted version of the Interscope agreement with Kendrick and the extent of the redactions. Drake's lawyers argued that the redactions are plainly improper, especially because the parties specifically agreed to treat these types of contracts as attorneys' eyes only. The legal team now has demanded UMG produce an unredacted version of the document. The contract details are crucial to Drake's case because the lawyers alleged the UMG executives had a contractual power to prevent the release. The lawsuit specifically targets UMG's right to approve, reject, refuse to publish, edit, amend, alter, or veto the publications. Drake's legal strategy centers on the premise that UMG's highest-ranking executives, including Lucian Grange, John Janik, Monty, Avery Lipman, were personally involved in approving and promoting content they knew would be defamatory. UMG has to date resisted providing documents of the executives, initially claiming that they were apex custodians. However, Drake's lawyers claim UMG later abandoned the argument after being presented with the case law showing there's no blanket prohibition. Both Drake and Lamar released the records on UMG through Republic Records. In court filings, Drake's lawyers have argued that Lucian Grange and John Janik were involved in the initial publication, Not Like Us, while Avery and Monty Lipman, as president and CEO of Drake's label, failed to prevent their publication. Drake's team also alleges that John Janik, particularly relevant to UMG's decision to publish and promote the defamatory material. Furthermore, Drake's lawyer believed the relevant to the case since Lucian Grange was to present 2025 Grammy Awards when Kendrick Lamar won the Song of the Year and captured on video celebrating Kendrick Lamar's win. Drake's lawsuit also alleges UMG incentivizes to value Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiation for an extension. So in short, Drake just hasn't. He's going to the nths with this, right? And I would love to know, I would love to believe that the reason why Drake is going to the end with this whole thing is because there's something more nefarious going on in the background that doesn't really relate to the whole like pedophile thing. It's because I think as destructive as those allegations can be, I don't want to believe that that's the main reason why he's going after him and main reason why he's going after UMG. It has to be more so with the fact that he felt as if there were forces conspiring against him in the background that were trying to take him down and use the opportunity, you know, of the whole Kendrick battle to kind of like bury him and crown a new fucking king of hip hop and kind of like put him to the side as he was negotiating with his new re-up at Republic. That's what you'd hope. But as more time has gone by, it's sort of feeling like more and more like this isn't even like a serious thing. This is just more so a thing of like him just maybe not being willing to accept the fact that he lost the battle. You know, that's the only sad thing about it as a Drake fan. It kind of feels like he just is unable to accept that he lost the battle, and instead of just accepting you lost it, licking your wounds and continuing on, he's willing to take this court case to the fucking nth degree, in order to make sure he kind of protects his ego or something, which is a bit, you know, unfortunate. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit unfortunate. I would have preferred it be a little bit different than what we're seeing right now. That's what I would have preferred, but unfortunately, that's not the case when it comes to this whole issue, and I don't think we're ever gonna see the end of it. I don't really think we're ever gonna see the end of it. I really, really, really don't. Here's a good summation, courtesy of XXL. It says Drake is looking to expose alleged acts of domestic violence committed by Kendrick Lamar in defamation case against UMG. On Tuesday, Drake's legal team filed documents in motion of their federal lawsuit against the music giant over K.Dot's Not Like Us record, requesting turning over a dozen documents pertaining to the case. Among the 75 documents requested are demands to give up documents relating to domestic violence, violence against women, and or other violence committed by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. In addition, the filing asks for all documents, communication related to Day 3 and his relationship with Kendrick and Kendrick's children. He wants he wants Kendrick to prove that those kids are his, and he wants Day 3 to clarify and to really clarify his relationship with Kendrick's wife and his kid. I don't know. This is fucking weird. Drake's lawyers are also seeking an unredacted version of Kendrick Lamar's UMG contract, as well as the custodial files of UMG's CEO Lation Grange. XXL has reached out to content. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed the battle when the battle was just between these two guys. I didn't enjoy the battle when the fans got involved. I thought the stands ruined it, right? I think everyone can agree on both sides. The stands ruined the battle. They made it not fun. They made it not enjoyable. But I did enjoy seeing somebody that I rate like Drake going after or going at somebody like Kendrick, who a lot of people regard as the best MC out. And I really enjoyed their sparring. I thought it was really entertaining. And I thought, if anything, Kendrick brought out the best in Drake. Obviously, Kendrick ended up winning. But I thought Kendrick brought out the best in Drake. Like, iron sharpens iron. And I would have just preferred it just ended there. Like, because, you know, I never believed this notion that, oh, if one person loses, their career's over. They're both superstars. Like, you can tell by Kendrick's tour and how successful that's been, and his performances and the sellout and shit. They're both superstars. So no matter what happened in the beef, no one's career was going to be over with. No one's career was ever going to be over with. So I would have preferred to have lived in the place where they just moved on, you know, after the battle. But for whatever reason, no one could move on. It's turned into this whole other thing. And now here we are, many months after the fact, right? And it's still going on with this court case. And I guess now, because it's gone so far, Drake can't exactly drop it. He kind of has to kind of go through with it. But the more he goes through with it, the more he looks weird, because it kind of looks like he just can't get over the loss. When probably, I assume, this lawsuit, or again, not assume, but I would guess from Drake's perspective, this has less to do with him losing the battle and more to do with what Kendrick said in Not Like Us, and him feeling like it was defamatory. It probably ruined possible money-making opportunities. It's a cloud over his head, whatever it may be. Do I think it's that deep that Kendrick called him a PDF? Not really. It's hip-hop battle. People say mean shit to each other. You start flinging mud. It is what it is. Didn't he say he abuses women? I don't know, whatever. It's just it's not that deep. Not that deep, really. But then again, I can't tell somebody how to feel about something that's said about them. So I guess you have to let it play out and see how it goes. But it's disappointing that it's still going on like this. Because I would have preferred, honestly, they're still sending fucking subs to each other in records now. That would have been annoying. But I would have much preferred to have heard these guys subbing each other. Like Kendrick saying stuff at his live show, Drake throwing little fucking jabs here and there. That would have been way more entertaining. But this court drama, like with UMG and stuff, like, you know, and kind of people getting into the weeds with record labels and Lucian Grange, and I don't give a fuck, man. Of course, most of these guys are fucking evil and conniving, and, you know, it's just like it's a whole kind of industry, musical chairs, and it's like, of course, there's all this skullduggery going on behind the scenes of the music industry. I don't doubt it, but it just takes away from the sanctity of and the beauty of that battle and how culturally important it was, and how much people, like, imagine that was one of the only times I can remember in hip-hop in recent years where people were really dissecting lyrics. We live in a post-academics world, right? We live in a post-academics world where everyone's obsessed with first week sales and all of that nonsense. But the beef between Drake and Kendrick was one of the only times in recent years where people were dissecting lyrics. I loved it, man. The Kendrick fans on their side reading into everything Kendrick's saying. The Drake fans reading into everything Drake is saying. Like breaking down the bars, breaking down the symbolism in music videos and Instagram posts. It was fucking great, man. These guys playing into it. It was fucking awesome. Then the stands got involved. Then the fucking blog page. Then it got really lame. And now we got this court. It's like, oh, now you forget about all the good records that came out of it, man. You forget about all the good records that came out of it. It's such a shame. It really is. Like, the day Family Matters dropped, I still remember that day, how amazing that was. Hearing Family Matters and thinking, oh my God, this might be a top 10 Drake record of all time. And then hearing Not Like Us for the first time and thinking, oh my fucking God. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's all fucking gone. Here we are. So hopefully they sort it out. They probably won't sort it out. It'll probably have to go until the very end because we're there already right now, right? We're literally at the very end anyway. Or we're too far for them to kind of call it quits. So I guess they're going to have to just, you know, take it to as far as they can take it. But I just really wish, I really, really wish we weren't here. I really, really, really wish we weren't here. Okay, moving on. Let's also check out, actually, I want to check out some clips from the recent Drake tour, because Drake's really on tour at the moment. He's fucking killing, having a good time. He was on stage recently with Yeet, by the way. Look at Yeet's chain. I'm not really much for chains, you know, I don't really care much for jewelry and shit and all that gaudy stuff. But that fucking chain, that bell chain is fucking crazy. And the way it dances, the way it fucking sparkles, the way it blings, you can tell those diamonds are real. It's fucking interesting as well now. You can clearly tell when people get like fake diamonds and real ones because they sparkle way differently, innit? You can tell this guy spent some money on that. That looks fucking incredible. I love that. Another picture of Drake here on tour with this leather vest that says, I know what you did. By the way, that font is like, what's that font called? I remember that artist Caramel Bobby used it a lot. I forgot the name of it. But this font is having a bit of a renaissance. Tyler the Creative used it for his Don't Tap That Glass, obviously. Album covering set on his merch. Drake using it on the back of his leather jacket. I forgot what this merch is, what this font is called. But I know Caramel Bobby used this font. This font has really been popular in the last few years. It's kind of had a bit of a renaissance. I'm not mad at that font and that jumper. I know what you did. I know what they did last summer. I'm assuming this is a fucking thinly veiled threat and reminder to the industry. And also, I think somebody mentioned the other day, like, since the beef, like, Drake hasn't, I think someone says, since the beef, Drake hasn't collabed with a single American artist. He's kind of keeping them at arm's length. No more free promos, no more stimulus packages after everything that went down and the whole people switching side on him after the Kendrick battle and shit. So I think this is definitely part of the, you know, narrative that it's him against the industry. I know what they did last summer. Love to see it. Drake running across the stage there. I ain't mad at that either. Let's see this. We got a little clip here of Drake performing in Zurich. By the way, that new Yeet album is so fucking good. Recommend you check it out if you haven't checked it out already. Still coming to terms and conditions with how I'm feeling soon as I know I hear it. Some more pictures of Drake on tour, behind the scenes, hanging out with Zach Beer. I guess that's Zach Beer. But I think he's signed. I think isn't Yeet signed to his record label? I think so. But yeah, Zach Beer there. Yeet there. Drake wearing his leather vest that says what? Sex. Sometimes I love the guy, but he's a bit corny, innit? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're too old to wear this sort of shit, innit? Like, sex relieves tension. A badge on his leather vest. #1 on the side. Like, I love the guy, but he's really, really, like, he's really light skinned. That's the thing about it. He's like the personification of a light skinned guy. Like, he just leans into the corn. He can't help it, man. Just see who he is. Sex relieves tension, you know? Jesus Christ, brother. But hey, see the back of the vest there. You see him coming off his jet. Fucking incredible. Imagine people have private jets and he has a fucking whole plane. Like, god damn. Cool. More clips of him. Knife talk in Zurich. I really like that stage design, by the way. Maybe it's just me, but I'm a big fan of this stage design. obviously it's a copy from what Kendrick's done and Travis has done the same sort of thing, where he performs in arenas and he turns the entire arena floor into a dance floor. So you have the stage being the kind of runway, this like perspex glass bridge runway thing that runs across the perimeter of the arena. I think what's his fucking name? I think Fred again did something similar as well. This is a really good way to kind of utilize the space to get more people packed into the dance, get more people packed into the main floor, create a bit of an atmosphere as well. Yeah, I really like it. I think it looks fucking cool. And obviously for the videos and shit, it's fucking great for the footage when you pick up. But that's a really cool way to do your live sets, I think. Here's a clip of what? The Swiss rowing team went crazy. I guess this is some challenge. I don't know, something kids are doing at Drake live shows. They're all sat on the floor and pretending they're rowing. I'm not too sure what this is about.
Watch out, watch out. Hey! 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 Oh yeah! Yes! Yes! Down! No, no, down!
That was fun, I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. Drake making the ring walk at his final show in Switzerland. By the way, this must be cool, innit? This must be fun, right? This must be fucking fun. I wish a DJ would do this, actually. Maybe a big DJ should do this. Like the ring walk to the DJ booth, walking through the fucking audience and shit, getting your pats on the back. This is very gratifying, right? Gratifying to see all the girls looking at you doughy-eyed, all the guys looking at you doughy-eyed, all the high fives and shit and smiles. This must do wonders for your ego, wonders for your confidence. Having all these people looking at you like with starry eyes as you're walking towards the stage from the fucking from the stands and shit. I love this. Drake wearing Texas merch. He's just like fucking Brendan, isn't it? Brendan and Drake share a lot in common there. He just moved to Texas recently wearing Texas merch. Brendan just moved to Texas now. Can't fucking stop wearing Texas stuff. What is it? Back at the doghouse again with Yeet. We checked that Yeet quadrility. Drake and Yeet perform. We've seen that one already, right? We've seen this already. That was fun, man. To be fair, if I have one criticism of the thing I've seen of Drake clips performing live, he doesn't really perform. I guess that's his thing that he does. He likes to turn these live shows into like massive karaoke sessions. Like he's literally like, he wants a fan to be singing along to the records himself. He's just like an MC, right? Hyping up the crowd and kind of, you know, taking them on a bit of a journey. But he doesn't really perform. I'd love if he actually performed. Like, you know, what Kanye does when he goes and performs his shows. He's mostly like rapping into a microphone, like with no backing track and shit. With Drake, it's mostly him kind of, you know, guiding the fucking crowd, but mostly letting them sing along to records, because he's got loads of singing on records. But I've seen a lot of his stuff is just him jumping up and down and screaming and shit, which I don't really like, you know? If I want to see someone perform, I want to see perform the fucking tunes, but maybe it's hard to do when he's got so many songs, it's so many, you know, it's a long set. I think it's like a 2-hour show, but I don't know. That's the only thing I don't like. Too much jumping around and screaming. What's this one? Coming to a city near you, OVO sound. What's this about? I think this is a trailer for the tour, or maybe this is a promo for his new jewelry piece that he's just recently got.
Up top, what the fuck is up? Y'all good? I don't give a fuck if you love me. I don't give a fuck if you like me. Asking me how did it feel? Can't say it didn't surprise me. Last time I looked to my right, You niggas was standing beside me, helping some people I love, hang around pussies who try me.
Okay, cool. Drake bought Adonis. He's got his son there on stage. Drake's son on stage again. Nice. Cool. Drake via IG story. Switzerland got to bring this energy tonight. This reminds me of that. This reminds me of that meme, innit? That meme people share online of like the girls like, oh, he's probably out there cheating on me, and this is the boys. This is where he's at. He hasn't replied to any of my text messages. He's probably out there cheating, and actually, he's out. He's at a Drake show on the ground, fucking nuts to ass with some random person at the show, pretending to row to fucking Kiki. Do you love me? Like, god damn it, man. We continue. Another picture of Drake with Gordo. New stuff coming there. Drake performing what? Blue, green, and red on tour. Let's see this. Oh, I like the glow in the dark ear monitors. I'm not mad about that. The glow in the dark in ear monitors. I'm not mad about that. I'm on the outskirts of town. Friends that I treated like family. They were just hanging around. Hey! Cool. And that's it, really, isn't it? That's what we got, really, when it comes. Oh, and let's see his chain. New chain just dropped. Drake's new Icebox chain.
Speaking of great gifts, you got me a great gift. It's ice. It's an ice box.
Oh shit! It's an ice box.
It is.
I love the little pout. You can't resist the little pout. I love the little pout that he does whenever he sees himself in the camera. He just can't resist the little pout there. But yeah, cool. Big up Drake. Big up Blood Clot Drake. Big up Blood Clot Drakey. You love to hear it. You love to hear it. You love to see it. Cool. Moving on. Let's quickly talk about this. Kid Cudi says his relationship or friendship with Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is officially over, calling the fallout heartbreaking. I think he's promoting a new album. He was on fucking, what's her name? Call Her Daddy recently interview. So he's back out there, just come back off of, I think he just got married recently too. So, but I think he's promoting a new album. I'm pretty sure he's promoting a new album. But Kid Cudi's making it very clear to everybody that him and Ye aren't on good terms, despite them recently reconciling. So this is probably a recent development of their on-off relationship over the years, which is hard to, sad to see. But let's hear why Kid Cudi doesn't really consider him and Ye's relationship to be on good terms anymore, courtesy of CBS Mornings.
Yeah. And I was cooking up with him and we were on the same frequency.
Yeah.
I felt like I had arrived.
You didn't stay on the same frequency?
No. It's a sad thing,
Sad in what way?
The freedom that we experienced when we were creating, and
yeah,
it just will never happen ever again.
Yeah.
And that is the heartbreaking side of things. But hey, I had a lot of things in my life break my heart, and I've been able to survive and move past it.
Yeah, friendship breakups are the worst, man. I'm going to die on that hill, man. Friendship breakups are far more hurtful, far more painful, far harder to get over than relationship breakups. I swear to God. Friendship breakups, especially how you said before, like all those moments, you just can never, ever get those shit back again. It's fucking, it's sad when it happens, especially on their side of things. So public, yeah, mad.
Did he break your heart in some way?
I think he has over and over multiple times.
From your perspective, in what way?
Just the code of a friendship.
You said you doubted you'd ever be friends again.
Yeah.
You still feel that way?
We've tried since then, but we always have a falling out. He said some things that there's just no coming back from. The comments that he's had about Virgil Abloh, you know, are just some of the most evil, vile, disturbing up things I've heard. Every time he
and you know what I thought about when he said that? I thought to myself, hold on, like I forgot what he's even said. It's been this, you know, Kanye does so much crazy shit. He does so much wild shit. Then he disappears. Then he comes back and he's normal again. Then he says some more wild shit. Disappears, comes back and he's normal again. So it's like a constant fucking, you know, ring a rosy type of shit. You forget what he said, and I thought to myself, what did he actually say about Virgil that was so hurtful and painful? I honestly completely forgot because it felt like it's been so long. I did a quick Google, right? I did a quick search on Twitter, and look what I found. One of the things that might have annoyed Kid Cudi, one of the things that might have made Kid Cudi feel away regarding what Ye has said about his late friend and their late friend Virgil.
Ah, man, I gotta use the bathroom. Where's Virgil's grave? Okay, so. Oh, my God.
Just without any provocation, in May, around May 2025, Kanye is on stream with Sneaker, and just without any provocation, without no reason to do so, he says, I gotta use the bathroom. Where's Virgil's grave? Fucking unnecessary. So unnecessary, right?
That was
I don't endorse that joke.
I would prefer that one over the quick one.
The quick one.
The quick one was great.
Rest in peace.
But I'll take the Virgil one. Virgil can't come after me.
But one of Virgil's millionaires will, so no one.
Yeah.
One of the people that Virgil like changed their lives is gonna come after you, so that means no one's coming after you.
Coming. Tell the security to stand down.
Yeah, put the AR-15s down.
Yeah, you got some come on in and have some food.
Yeah.
Fucking, and it's heartbreaking hearing him speak about Virgil in such a disrespectful way, man. R.I.P. to the great Virgil, but Jesus Christ, I get why Cudi's so mad.
took a dig at Virgil, it just made me super angry.
Yeah.
Virgil was an angel to everyone. There's no coming back from that, man. Like, I'm done with you, you know? And it breaks my heart.
I bet.
Because I loved Kanye, you know? I really loved him. He was part of my life changing. And at some point, he was a really good friend. But the man that he has become, I just don't know that guy anymore.
That last sentence, right? The guy that Ye has become now, I don't know that guy anymore. Am I a little bit messed up in the head if I say the following? A part of me kind of admires, is almost impressed with Ye's ability, Ye's willingness to completely eviscerate and torch his reputation, his standing amongst people like Cudi and stuff, like influential people in culture, music, whatever, you know? Like his willingness to completely burn every fucking bridge, knowing full well that some of those bridges can never be mended again, is impressive in a world where everybody is very careful about what they say to ensure that they stay on people's good side for their own selfish needs. Even if they don't really fuck with a person. Everyone's kind of doing this whole like clout musical chairs, suck up to certain people, saying certain things, you know? But Ye's just like, doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a fuck how it's going to look. And just think about it, right? Like, because in my head, I'm picturing, what is it? Madison Square Garden. Remember that whole Madison Square Garden thing with the Yeezy show and and Young Thug on stage and Ian Connor and Yachty back in the day, right? I'm imagining that whole era where he was on, where he's in the crowd with fucking Cudi and Pusha T next to him. He's doing his Yeezy shows. All those people, all those, like, remember that Yeezy show where it's like, I think it's like Beyonce on the in the crowd, Rihanna there, Diddy there with Cassie. Like all those people, right? He's at the heart of everything. Everyone wants to get close to him. Everyone wants to get near him. He's a genius. He's this, is that. To go from that to be like on his own, only him and Bianca Censori, nobody else around him. Only him and Bianca Censori. No hangers on. Not a lot of people clout chasing. Not a lot of industry friends. Probably zero industry friends. all because he feels like he's been wrong, he's been done dirty. Because that's at the heart of this, right? At the heart of this is Ye's inability to move on from the fact that he feels like Virgil snaked him, essentially, which I don't think is fair. Because the reality of the situation is, most likely, a lot of these companies that Ye was working with, you know, as we've seen over the years, he's a bit of a complicated person to kind of work with. So I just think people just chose Virgil because he's easier to work with. You know, he's not as good as Kanye, obviously, but he does a good enough job, and he's a pleasure to work with. So over the years, they just chose him. That's what that is what happened with the Louis V job. I'd imagine so. Now on Ye's side of things, when he tells the whole story, Ye's whole story of why the Virgil getting the Louis job hurt his feelings, it kind of, you know, it's a bit more detailed. In Ye's version of events, he says that the fucking LVMH guy offered him a deal to have his own brand under LVMH. But then they changed their mind last minute, retracted the offer, then next minute he looks online and Virgil's got the Louis Vuitton job. So he can, you know, he can feel a little bit hard done by. But again, that's your friend, man. You can have your issues with LVMH, you can have your issues with the industry, but surely if your friend gets that type of job, you should be happy for your friend. You're like friend. And if you remember, back in the day, how close, right? How close they were together, right? Let's look at some. Look at some of these pictures of how close some of these guys were back in the day. Remember how, like, you know, I used to love their relationship back in the day, right? Virgil was his creative director. If I'm not mistaken, too, in the scene as well in culture, I feel like the whole term creative director and title came about during their era together. Everyone wanted to be a creative director because of Virgil's role in Kanye's career and stuff, and what that meant, and how he was able to progress that from Pyrex to Off-White and shit. So they had an amazing working relationship, right? That you believed was real, that you believe was rooted in love and shit, and wasn't just like an industry thing, right? So yes, you have your issues with LVMH. Yes, you're pissed and gutted that you, the Louis Vuitton Don, didn't get the Louis Vuitton job. But surely if your friend gets a job, you should be over the moon about it. You should be over the moon. But he's never really got over this. He's never really got over this. And I wonder also if a part of it is because, like, Virgil was always beloved. Kanye's always been kind of, I guess, tolerated because of his talent. Let's be real. If Kanye wasn't as talented in music and in fashion as he is, I don't think people obviously would put up with him. But because his work is so fucking god tier, people are willing to put up with his, you know, horrible personality. But I guess with Virgil, his work isn't as good as Ye's, but people really like him. Even in his passing, you didn't hear a single girl came out and say anything crazy about Virgil touching him and shit and being weird. He had so many glowing tributes from people all over the world and shit. Even now, he's still held in fucking great regard. So I wonder if that is also a part of what was always eating away at fucking Ye. That he's always spoken about in such glowing terms. To some point, some people maybe speak about Virgil highly than they do about fucking Kanye. So imagine how that's going to make you feel. But all in all, it's really disappointing. As a big fan of these guys in general, to see how it all played out. Especially when you remember when fucking, what's his face? Tremaine from Dead in Tears. You guys remember this detail? This is from 2022, actually. Tremaine from Dead in Tears. You remember when that whole beef was happening and Ye was going after Tremaine and calling him tremendous, and he had that line with Ian Connor that he was dropping, taking a piss out of Tremaine and to the Supreme job and calling him a fucking coon, all this sort of nonsense. Tremaine fired back and spilled some tea about what was going on behind the scenes. And this is one of the captions that he wrote and said, I gotta draw a line at you using Virgil's death in your Ye is the victim cap. By the way, I love how he's doing Ye as in like taking the piss out of that name change, right? Because, you know, Ye's using the term Ye basically didn't want to call himself God, innit, essentially. Kanye doesn't want to be known by his slave name. He wants you to call him God. I've always thought that was interesting, by the way. Don't call me Kanye, call me Ye. What, you want us to call you God? Like, Jesus Christ, man, the ego. I love the guy, but Jesus Christ. Tremaine says, I got to draw the line at you using Virgil's death in your Ye is a victim campaign in front of your sycophantic peanut algorithm gallery. Your best friend Virgil, Negro please. This time last year, you said Virgil's design are a disgrace to the black community in front of all your employees at Yeezy. Jesus Christ. Ask Lucette Holland. I got all the receipts. Imagine saying that about your best friend behind the scenes. That Virgil's designs are a disgrace to the black community. When he was alive, no one ever said Virgil was the best designer. right? People always were saying that, you know, his designs weren't the greatest. But one thing you can never fault him on was his, you know, his verve, his passion, his work rate, his output. But just say that anyway, as a friend, is fucking crazy. Maybe fans can say that, critics can say that, but as a friend, to say that their designs are a disgrace to the black community is fucking crazy. It continues. Don't let me get into the things you said about V after his death. Yay, tell the people why you didn't get invited. This is the real shocking and illuminating part that told you a lot. Yay, tell the people why you didn't get invited to Virgil's actual funeral, the one before the public one at the museum. You knew Virgil had terminal cancer and you rode on him in group chats, at Yeezy, at interviews. You are so broken. Keep Virgil's name out of your mouth. Keep Gabriella, Gabriella, I think is that fat lady who used to work at Vogue, who Kanye came after. Remember, I don't know actually. That fat lady, sorry to describe you that way, but there's this bigger lady that worked in Vogue. She was an editor, and this was when Kanye did that show for Yeezy where he had the White Lives Matter t-shirt, and he did it in that fucking place with the fucking spiral staircases. Anyway, this Vogue editor went to that show. She didn't obviously like the White Lives Matter t-shirts, wrote a pretty scathing review of the show. Ye got pissed off and annoyed by her bad review, and Ye decided to do what he always does, decided name calling, bullying, doing this whole nonsense thing to her, and kind of, you know, and I think he took a picture of, he used a picture of her and put it on his feed and took the piss out of her outfit, like just horrible shit, right? Yeah, very, very tasteless and classless and whatever. Anyway, so keep Gabriella's name out of your mouth. Keep, you're not a victim. You're just an insecure narcissist that's dying for validation from the fashion world. Take care. At least we'll always have Uganda. Nice little sub bomb there, you know. You remember the whole Uganda fucking affair? So yeah, that kind of told us a lot about his, you know, his standing. So the funny thing is, all of this stuff, this isn't even to do with Ye's relationship or Ye's attitude or Ye's demeanor towards these people. Kid Cudi's basically saying, hey, I can't be friends with Kanye again because of how badly he treated my friend Virgil, or what the things he said about the guy during his time alive and obviously post him dying. And even Tremaine in this caption isn't even saying, oh, this guy's done this to me, done this to me. He's more annoyed at how he's spoke about his friend Virgil. So these type of things you can't redact. Like it's one thing annoying somebody and falling out with them personally, but how will you ever get past this? If you're someone like Tremaine, if you're Kid Cudi, how do you get past this? If you hold that Virgil guy in such high standing, and you know Kanye said this stuff about him and did this stuff, it's just not gonna, you're not ever gonna be on good terms. So I can completely understand that. And then I decided to quickly have a search on the Yeezy archive to see all the mentions of Ye, where he mentioned Virgil within the last year or so. And so far we got 12 tweets in 2025, right? And they're not good. Let me just say that. 12 tweets in 2025 regarding Virgil. One tweet, fuck Virgil, right? Another one says, I love Trav, Virgil, and Drake, the realest one of those three, though he not fake. Drake is the realest one of those three, though he not fake. He's just talented as fuck. And yes, it's fuck Virgil. Any of these other niggas that worked for me, that used me, then went against me. I love Virgil. And he loved me. I love Virgil, and he used that very love to beat Nigerians are super smart. I don't know what that's about. Another one, fuck Virgil, so everyone remembers I said that. So he's been doubling down on his Virgil hate. So I don't think him and Cudi are ever going to be friends. Another one, Carti is just a way more basic, dumber version of Virgil. Virgil has maxed out Carti's finesse card. Ain't no hugs this time. Jesus, honestly. Kanye is such a hateful person. He's such a mean guy, isn't it? Yeah, he's such a mean guy. Niggas be knowing what they get up to the whole time. Fuck Virgil. The betrayal, Virgil, John Legend, Kim, Trav, Carti, Big Sean, Jay, Ty, Tyler, Dirt, Common, Cudi. Look at his enemy list. Look at Kanye's enemy list. Virgil, John Legend, Kim Kardashian, Travis Scott, Carti, Big Sean, Jay-Z, Ty Dolla $ign, Tyler the Creator, Lil Durk, Common, Kid Cudi, Pusha T, Don C, Amber Rose, the Kardashians, the family, Adidas, Demna and Balenciaga, my own kids, my own family, the black community, and of course, Juice. I love how Ye never looks in the mirror and thinks maybe it's me. I love how Ye never looks in the mirror and thinks maybe I'm the problem. If that's the list of all your enemies, maybe you did something wrong too, innit? Another one, R.E. Virgil, imagine a nigga steal your dream and is giving you a crown because he ain't wear a red hat, and then the culture you built mad at you speaking up on it. My own friends that knew how bad it hurt me came trying to check me for speaking up. I hate when niggas try to tell me what the fuck I can say. Kanye's like, people having a problem with you maybe insulting or speaking badly on Virgil's name isn't the same as people saying you can't say that you're upset that he got the job. I love how he's trying to conflate the two things, you know? It's like, you're allowed to be upset you didn't get the job. You're allowed to speak about you're upset you didn't get a job, but like saying fuck Virgil and calling him out of his name, and if what Tremaine said is true, if Kanye knew the whole time that Virgil was sick and Virgil had cancer, and you're still going after him in the press and saying stuff in the media, that's kind of wild, man. Another one. Virgil let me down. Has anyone seen his widow? Eesh. Jesus Christ. Virgil let me down. Has anyone seen his video? Another one. People don't understand. Virgil getting the LB job was worse for me since we were close. Another one. Bloody Osiris wants to kill Ye now. Concerning my position on the Virgil, Bloody Osiris wants to ride out for Virgil. I fucking love it, man. Please don't do anything illegal. I'm snitching. I'm not for the culture. I pay taxes. Play and end up in jail. It's not worth it. Derek B. Lake approached someone about Virgil. From what I hear, there are 8 people with him. I'm gonna show you how white I can get. I'm not tough. I'm a grown-ass man I pay taxes, a lot of taxes. I'm gonna put these tax dollars to work. So yeah, I understand why Kid Cudi said what he said. It's hard to be friends with somebody like Ye. It's really hard to be friends with a guy like Ye when he's talking about a good friend of yours like that. And then not including every stuff he said about Kid Cudi over the years, because he said some mad stuff about Kid Cudi. So I get where Kid Cudi's coming from. In good news, in somewhat good news regarding Ye, he has relaunched Yeezy.com. Yeezy.com has been relaunched in a new updated design. To be fair, I have to be honest, the UI, UX is really fucking fresh and cool. It's a similar sort of layout that you're used to. All the items are displayed in a monochromatic style. You see all the thumbnails of all the designs that they're selling and merch styles and shit. Most of the clothing's $20. There are some differences in prices, I think, with shoes and stuff, I'm not mistaken. Some of the shoes are a little bit more expensive than some of the women's pieces. There's one really nice addition, because before it was just unisex all around, but now they are delineating between some women's pieces and men's pieces, and they've got this really nice little toggle at the top here where you've got like a little outline that has like a bit of a feminine outline that says women's, I'm assuming, and this one's men's. So if you click each tab, it'll show you which is women's, and you can select the pieces, and if you click the other one, it shows you the men's pieces. I'm pretty sure some women's pieces are, I think everything's $20 like it was before, so democratizing fashion, so you get, you know, all of these really nice silhouettes and pieces for $20, which are really cool, because you get access to stuff that you probably would pay way more money from other fashion brands to purchase. But I think some pieces are a little bit more expensive. Let me see if I can find one. But I think, okay, those tops are all $20. Is that skirt $20 too? Yep. Oh no, so $60. So some stuff is not 20. Some stuff is a little bit more expensive, but still $60 for a dress like this was still pretty cool, I'd imagine. Let's check out what's this one? Let's check out this bikini set as well. That's $20. Cool. And then if you scroll down, you see some more bits and pieces. There's some shoes too. You can find like specific women's shoes. They've got this shark boot. That's really cool. That's $100. HB1. He's also got this high heel type of shoe as well. That's a HL03. That's $60 for women's. There's also this mule clog type of sandal affair. That's $60, which I really love. It's like a Yeezy slide with the heel on it. That's really fucking nice. I'm not sure if people have received any of this stuff yet. And there's this is probably my favorite design of the heel. This kind of shape. It looks like a shark fin. It almost looks like a door jam. It's incredible. Such sharp lines as well. It's nice little high heel design. It's nice little sharp angle. HL01, and that's $60 also. Super, 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 super nice. Let's check out some of the men's stuff that I like. Obviously, the Yeezy Season 10, I think jumper, sweatsuit, or hoodie is really nice. Zip up sweatshirt, sorry, for $40 in the mauve gray. They've got the raincoat, which I will also probably end up purchasing because that's a, you know, nice, decent one to put in your wardrobe. Raglan sleeve raincoat with this nice baggy sort of style. And I think everything's one size fits all if I'm not mistaken. There's a jacket here. A nice, what's that? Warmer WB. I guess it's like a windbreaker jacket. It comes in different colors as well, in black, white, and gray. What else have we got here? I want to check out this long sleeve. I'm not mad of. Yeah, this like t-shirt long sleeve thing. It's $40. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. There's this O-neck, Mo-neck sort of jacket jumper thing going on for $40. Also pretty decent. That's, you know, this is the men's. The sweatpants, of course. You can't go wrong with some of these sweatpants. Sweatpants 09, $40. Great straight hem on those. They come in different colors. There's a socks as well that he's selling in a pack of 3. But the thing I love the most personally are these glasses. These glasses, these SG02. So I guess Kanye recently has been wearing a lot of these like glasses that have the strings on the back. The sort of glasses that you'd wear in a sort of like wood shop and shit, a garage and whatnot. And I was always, I think I asked for the ID on a couple of them and somebody suggested a couple of them, but I guess these were the ones that he was wearing, ones that he was kind of developing and wear testing and shit. And they're $20 as well. Like, I don't know about you, but I think these look fucking phenomenal. And there's also another style, the SG01s, that are a little bit more similar to like the glasses that he did for Gap. Yeah, they kind of feel like the Gap one. So they're a little bit more, they kind of, I don't know, sort of more of a flexible, plasticky type of material with the lens. And then they still got the strap on the back. And that's $20. And then, of course, you got the shoes. They got the SL0. Don't got the boots anymore. The SL02s, which I don't mind personally. I don't feel a lot of people are not fans of those. But these for $20 are a really, really great shoe. Very easy to wear and versatile. And then, of course, you got the SL02s, which are more of a slipper, thinner shoe. You've got the Yeezy Slides kind of style. You've got the Yeezy Slides 01s for $20, which you can't go wrong. You got the socks, right? The Yeezy socks. Or the pod socks or whatever they're called. You got snapback hats. You got a bag as well, I saw here, right? Yeah, there's a backpack here. There's a waterproof backpack. I ain't mad at that. I feel like I've seen a bunch of, I think I mentioned it before, I've seen a bunch of people, I feel like, in the airport wearing these sort of things now recently, over the recent years. So yeah, Yeezy.com store has finally relaunched. Not too sure if this means he's in the good graces of Shopify again, because that's the reason why the first store went down, because he put up that Hitler t-shirt. So there's no more, thank God there's no more Hitler merch. There's no more Hitler merch available. So this site should be up for a while. Oh, look at that. I ain't mad at that either, innit? I ain't mad at that either. So yeah, this site should be up for a while, but I'm wondering who the payment processor is regarding all this shit. I wonder who the payment processor is, but so far so good. Yeezy.com site has relaunched. Check it out if you haven't already. Check it out if you haven't already. It looks fucking phenomenal. It looks fucking phenomenal. Big up them. Big up them. Big up them. Moving on as well, let's talk about John Geiger. Big up John Geiger. This is courtesy of Stay Grounded TV. It says John Geiger's the first designer to collab with the US Army. US Army collab featuring John Geiger. Some really nice bits here that are due to drop very, 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 very soon, I'd imagine. You've got an exclusive pair of GF1 or 004s done in that US Army colorway. The clear sole at the bottom, like that's fucking beautiful, right? The clear sole, which I wanted this for a long time. I think I searched it before, that he does like clear icy soles. I think a clear icy sole with a clear, like imagine a clear blue icy sole with a white upper. I think I would go fucking crazy. But the 004s in this army colorway, he's got the army text on the outsole and the bottom here, and that clear sole looks fucking beautiful. The upper as well is a really nice blend of the olive and the greens that kind of match, obviously, the army kind of branding colors and shit. This nice little yellow hit tip here. This nice little yellow hit on the tip is a really nice little feature, nice little addition that I'm not mad at. I also love the different style laces with this little kind of stripe design on the laces that gives the laces a little bit of added dynamism as well that I'm not mad at in the slightest. Oh, look at the mesh as well. There's like a topography little map shit going on the mesh. If you zoom in a little bit close to it as well, that I'm not mad at. Nice little detail as well on the insoles. It comes with some merch too, some jackets that you can wear that I'm not mad at in the slightest. The football jersey is probably the best bit of it, and the cargo pants, which I'm going to show you. This jersey top is so fucking hard. This white jersey, this white fucking football jersey thing is absolutely incredibly hard. I would have preferred it in the long sleeve, but I still like it in a short sleeve. And there's also a little sneak peek of maybe something that looks like a hoodie that we might see very, very soon. The caption says, John Geiger just became the first fashion designer to collab with the United States Army. The US Army officially teamed up with John Geiger to launch a green label, the Army's first ever streetwear collection that looks to reclaim territory for the fashion world. Are they reclaiming territory? Or are they trying to hire? What are they trying to do? Is this the military industrial complex system? What's going on right now? Are the US Army trying to, is this a psyop? Are the US Army trying to like very discreetly enlist kids to the army by tempting them with some 004s and some great fucking merch pieces and stuff and cut and sew pieces from streetwear? I don't know. Either way, it looks fucking great. But the best bit for me are these pants. The best bit are these pants. Now, I don't know when he's going to bring these out. I feel like I've seen him tease these pants before. These cargo pants that John Geiger makes. I think the pocket placements, the shape, oh, they're so fucking good. I really do hope these come out very, very soon. You've got these great pockets here on the front. Which kind of look like they're detachable, but they're not, with that badge, which I really like as well, with that logo that kind of reminds me of the old like mini disc logo that I used to get back in the day. Yeah, just a pocket placement is brilliant. Around the front here of the pants, you got some to the side, because you'd imagine when you wear them too, it kind of gives the cargo pants a nice bit of shape when you've got pockets that kind of stand at the front and stand towards the side. And then you've also got this nice kind of, again, straight hem at the bottom with elastic at the bottom, so you don't have to scrunch them up, and it kind of drops really nicely on your pants. But those cargo pants, those cargo pants are disgustingly nice. And I also love the addition of the Army stamp here on the crotch. If I was being a little bit nitpicky, what I would like or prefer, you know the font that they use on the Army t-shirts in general? I'd probably prefer that font to this, but I guess if you want to have a stencil and spray it on or stamp it on, maybe you kind of need this font. But regardless, I love it. This looks fucking beautiful. Hope it comes out very, very soon. I'm not even sure. The material also looks really nice as well, like kind of light. I forgot what that's called. I think, is it called a Pyrex pie? I forgot. It's like this mesh material that they usually use sometimes for bags. It's very lightweight. It can also be very water resistant, so I love the look of it, man. These camo pants are incredible. So I think the football jersey and these pants are definitely the standout pieces in this John Geiger US Army collab. So I hope they end up coming out very, very soon. And then the other bit that's really interesting, that I'm really interested in, very, very interested in, are these leaked images of the up-and-coming SK01s. So John Geiger's getting into the skatewear thing everyone's doing at the moment, where he's kind of, you know, giving his interpretation of a 90s, early 2000s skate shoe. Think of DCs, think of Osiris's, who else I can think of? I can't think of the top of my head that I had back in the day. And these look fucking phenomenal. These look fucking phenomenal. You got a nice big chunky, again, late 90s, early 2000s skate silhouette. Nice big puffy tongue, nice chunky laces. Really small, short kind of toe box. And this really cool logo. Again, that's that same logo on the cargo pants. So that logo there that you see kind of over here, this Geiger logo is, I guess that's one of the alternate logos that he uses for his brand now. So you got that logo here on the side there, which looks really fucking cool. I can't wait to see what this looks like in hand. These are two colorways that I guess he's probably sampling and testing out at the moment. There's this one colorway that kind of looks like a blue camo type of thing with zebra laces. I kind of like this branding, by the way, this pop with these zebra laces, these fat laces. And there's also one that's completely all white. I'm just hoping one comes out with a gum sole. Gum sole, some sort of dark black version with gum sole. I'm all for. But yeah, this skate shoe version is fucking phenomenal. Can't wait to see it. Hoping it also has a performance aspect to it as well, so they, you know, they're somewhat comfortable, and if you want to skate in them, they can also be used in that regard as well going forward, because these look fucking sick. These look fucking sick. Big up Blood Clot John Geiger. Then I also wanted to mention this regarding Burberry. Burberry have got this really cool campaign that features the bus auntie, the auntie that went viral on social media. She's featured in this campaign, and I have to be honest, man, like on top of this campaign, which I'm seeing with them featuring the London buses and stuff and central London type of vibes, and the other campaign that I saw that kind of depicted the models, I think during Glastonbury or some sort of festival, I have to be honest, man, Daniel Lee's kind of smashing it at Burberry. I want to hate, I really want to hate, but Daniel Lee's doing a really good job over there at Burberry in terms of rooting Burberry in some sort of identity. Very English, very British. Of course, the shows, he does a good, they do a good job when it comes to the shows. In terms of all the people that go to the shows, it's like the who's who of the British entertainment glitterati industry type of thing. They do a really good job in highlighting those type of things. But I think with these campaigns, they're doing a really good job in terms of centering Burberry, its British roots and shit, and making people know Wagwan when it comes to this sort of shit. So it looks fucking phenomenal. This campaign, you see, is this Trafalgar Square, or I've got what that place is in England, or in London, sorry, I don't really hang out in these places. And some of the models are sitting on those buses that do the tours with the top off and shit, wearing all fucking Burberry here. I'm assuming from maybe is it the Resort collection? I'm not too sure if it's the full collection, but it looks fucking phenomenal. Let me actually read a bit of the blurb here because I'm just chatting on my ass. It says, Burberry introduces Back to the City, a film and portrait series that focuses on the sights, sounds, and people of London. Think of the guided tour of an incredible city, says the brand Chief Creative Officer Daniel Lee, a celebration of the famous skyline and the beautiful buildings and the Londoners who choose to call it home. The film follows the route of an open-top red tour bus, moving the National Gallery to London Eye to Trafalgar Square, showing a city in perpetual motion. The cast includes musician Jimothy Lacoste. Oh, I haven't heard about him in a while, bro. Look at Jimothy Lacoste. Long time no here. Who created the accompanying soundtrack to Burberry, TikTok bus Aunty, Bemi Orojungun, so if I pronounce it, known for posing with the London's red double-decker buses, and models Nora Attal, Ruben Billen Carroll, and Libby Bennett. It's a personality of the people that make London feel unique. So even that's pretty cool, right? Mixing TikTok influencers with actual models into the fucking shoot. Let's actually check out the campaign. They should have a video of it, right? This is the campaign, courtesy of Burberry themselves. Let's check it out here. All aboard, Burberry Back in the City takes you on a double-decker bus tour through the streets of London. That looks really cool. That looks really fucking cool, man. That looks really, really fucking cool. They killed it. They killed it, man. Honestly, you got to give props, man. Daniel Lee's killing it at fucking Burberry. He's fucking killing it. He had some, I don't know, there was maybe a couple of missteps collection wise, but I think overall, even when I think of that last one, right? When was the previous one? Fall 2025. Like decent, man. Decent. I think obviously the debut was the hardest. The debut was the hardest collection, right? That's what, fall 2023. But I think even recently, right, fall 2025, like there's some good things in here, man. Honestly, Daniel Lee's doing a fucking good job of that Burberry. I think visually, what I don't like about it is that it just looks like a lot of fabric, you know? There's a lot of material, a lot of fabric. Sometimes I feel like the collections kind of blend into each other, you know, in terms of the palette, in terms of the silhouettes. But when you look at it, you know, look for look, style for style, jacket for jacket, it looks fucking phenomenal. Now, the prices are not phenomenal. The prices are pretty fucking crazy for what they sell. I'm not gonna lie. I think last time I checked for that duck hat or something that I liked from one of the collections, it was like £1,000 or something crazy like that. Let me actually check the website. Actually, let's see. I'm pretty sure the prices for Burberry are insane on their retail store. Maybe they've changed them so far, but I remember that was one thing that I wasn't too happy about when I saw them. I was like, Jesus Christ, where they're positioning themselves, man. In terms of luxury brands, why would you purchase Burberry for that much money? Let's go to men. And let's see what's available and see how much it is. But I'm pretty sure when I checked last, it was super. Let's see it. Latest. Let's go new. Let's see let's see what the price is saying. So, what's this? Okay, that's not too bad. For a mid-length check collar Chesterfield jacket, a trench coat, right? With the fucking lining in it. Okay. 1,950. Not too shabby. What else have we got here? Also, that's women. I want to see men's latest. Men's. Give me men's. Men's latest, a loafer, £690. I guess, you know, you don't really find a lot of designer shoes under 500 really nowadays. Even those shitty collapsible Prada shoes were £7. So I guess that is what it is. A cashmere scarf for £5 is crazy. That's a lot. 500 quid for a fucking scarf is fucking insane. What else we got here? Polo tops for $325 is still a bit nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Sunglasses for $22.10. That I'm not too mad at, to be fair. For designer glasses, they could have used sort of for free bills, but $210 ain't too shabby. A cashmere trench coat for $4 grand. An umbrella. Ooh. A check folding umbrella. $395. $395 for a folding umbrella. God damn. They are not giving this shit away, are they? Small check bag, like a bag you take for the festival, $590. So yeah, the prices are a little bit steep. Not gonna lie. Oh, that body warmer, that puffer gilet, I'd wear the fuck out of that, to be fair. That gilet is $1,190. So yeah, they're not giving it away. Let's be for real. They're not giving it away, that's for sure. Any more bits we steal here? Let's get some other bits. That's the best image from it, isn't it? That's the best image, isn't it? Seeing the bus auntie on the fucking TikTok on the Burberry campaign, that's fucking phenomenal. She looks so good in this stuff, right? That they gave her the Burberry sunglasses, a nice scarf, probably got a nice shawl on. She looks great, man. This is a great image. What else? You got some pictures here from the campaign also. Yeah, those glasses, I ain't mad at those glasses actually. That's like Burberry's interpretation of those like famous Versace Medusa sunglasses, and it's got that kind of a horse, the knight on the horse emblem on the side. That ain't too shabby. If I was being nitpicky, I'd say the only thing I don't like is that kind of curved style. I'd want them to be a little bit more boxed off, but those are some cool sunglasses, bro. Are they actually available on the site? Can you buy those? Let's see. Do they have those accessories? Let's see sunglasses. How much are those sunglasses that he's wearing? Are they available to purchase? Can I purchase them right now? Yeah, I think that's the one there, right? $380. £380. God damn, they're not giving these away, are they? They are not giving these away. $380. Shit. $380. They are not giving these away, are they? But they're fucking gorgeous. Look at those. Damn, son. Damn. Okay, let's go back to the thing. Anything more?
Bus will wait here whilst drivers are changed.
Yeah, that Jimmy Lacoste tune is a bop. I'm not gonna lie. That Jimmy Lacoste tune's a fucking bop. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, big up Burberry, big up Burberry, big up Burberry. You love to see it. You love to freaking see it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Action Show episode number 928. It's been a pleasure to have your company. It's been a pleasure to have your company. It's been a pleasure to have your company. Thank you for tuning in to the Action Show episode number 928. For those of you tuning in via the audio side of things, you should be hearing my tune of the day playing underneath my voice, which would be from Huxley from the recently released EP Mind Games. The tune I'm playing as my tune of the day is the title track, the single from this EP called Mind, track number 1. It's fucking phenomenal. Hopefully you enjoy it the way that I've enjoyed it. Big up Records. Big up Records. So check out that. Those of you who want random show, that'll be happening later on today, so come back for that one. But for now, I love you and leave you. Thank you for tuning into the Excellent Zinger Show. Make sure you leave me a 5-star review on all your fucking podcast platforms, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. But for now, take care. Peace.